Hey there. So the last 7 or 8 weeks were kind of a rush, right? They were pretty exciting. There's the big sales, the Vinegar Syndrome sale, followed up by the Severin sale, all the big announcements, the exciting stuff coming through, and there's more announcements that are coming on a month by month basis with Severin and Vinegar Syndrome. But there's no other actual sale, really. Well, there's sales, but these are, well, in my community anyway, kind of the big sales, the ones that people look forward to year round, well, half year round, and then the next big one comes up in November. So what do you do now? You're waiting for your movies to come. Maybe some have come. Maybe you've gotten through some of your other stuff. So what am I gonna do? What suggestions can I give? Well, let's go. Maybe you're really excited about the Seven sale, and you're waiting for those post-apocalyptic movies to come. You got that book coming. You're one of the lucky people that live in the U.S. that managed to get the book by Cloud on post-apocalyptic films. Now might be a good time to look back and see if you've watched every one of your post-apocalyptic films that you got, or if you've left some in the wrappers, like I have, that I got to catch up on, like Iron Warrior with Miles O'Keefe and Robot Holocaust, which looks like cheesy fun and something I'm actually really looking forward to checking out. So this is one I can't watch with my better half because these are her jam. These are her thing. There's a start. But aside from that, like, what if you didn't pick those up? Well, if you're a Blue Underground person, maybe it's time to catch up on some of those older 4Ks that you bought because they were just such a good deal, and you saw the screen caps online and you heard everybody raving about them, but you've gotten the movies like 18 dozen times throughout the years. So this was an upgrade that you knew you were going to get and maybe weren't going to watch right away. Now, I did watch both of these actually right away, but I'm a huge Fulci fan, and these are ones that I have in my collection many, many times, and I love these two films. But I'll probably be rewatching them again because, again, those are some of my favorite Fulci stuff. Well, maybe you got some of the Franco coming. Well, Mondo put it Franco as well, so maybe you've grabbed Night Has a Thousand Desires. Not the easiest Franco to get into, but it's a really interesting, well shot film. Franco's a different type of beast. I think one thing that bothers me when people look at Franco or even like Tinto Brass or people like that is that sometimes they get caught up on like, oh, there's nudity in the film, and they tend to forget that there's actually well shot sequences and a story. Not as a linear story, but a feeling and a motif and just an aura around the film that puts it across like just your average film. Or, oh look, this has a bit of nudity into it. They work way better than that. Or maybe it's time to catch up on that box set that you got from late directors like Norman J. Warren. This came in from Indicator, the Bloody Terror set, and man, is it good. It's got Satan's Slave, Prey, Terror, and Semonide, and Bloody New Year. And it's got a nice book in Norm J. Warren. Get some cards, get a poster, of course, because it's Indicator. They do that jam. And then you get the load you up on audio commentaries, documentaries, features. It's just an amazing box set. For those that, kind of wondering if maybe if you're OCD like me, it's my number is 3,554 out of 6,000, and these are all out of print right now. So if you can find yourself one for a decent price, recommend it. Or just catch up on an old, fun little classic, something you haven't watched in a while. I hadn't seen this movie in years, and this was sent to me by a viewer, and I was very, very excited actually to get this. And this is Beyond the Door with Juliet Mills. I'm actually a big Juliet Mills fan, so there you go. some people consider this a classic or not, but I wouldn't. Look at this classic artwork. This is the artwork that you normally see for this film. If you ever like ran through your video store back in the day, you probably saw it somewhere. Especially if you lived in the VHS era, like I did. Maybe you ordered The Frenchman's Garden. You're waiting because there's those new Mondo is coming out from Paul Naschy. The Frenchman's Garden is his favorite film, actually. I don't have that one ordered yet, but it's one that I do want. So maybe it's time to catch up on some of your older Mondos. Maybe you're getting celeb. If you are, watch it from the beginning. It's a bit of a Queen of Your Hearts off your head type of thing. But there's fantastic films like Inquisition, which was put out by Mondo Macabra, and it's a Naschy film. The really cool Panic Beats, or get a couple of the Jorge Gro films. Jordi Gro? I'm gonna pronounce that wrong. Stuff like Blood Ceremony. Highly underrated film. Recommend you check it out. Hunting Ground. Again, excellent little film. And if you were lucky enough to grab this one, especially this edition of this one, it's Queens of Evil. And this pretty much is kind of like a folk horror type thing. So if you're waiting for that Kira Janice documentary to come out, that's probably going to come out from Severin. I'm going to guess maybe during Black Friday. Then this is a really good one to watch. And if you're a fan, like I am, of the because this one has the really, really cool Ray Lovelock documentary, like interview. It runs for 3 hours and 20 minutes long. I wanted to get the time on it there. I'm a big Ray Lovelock fan, and 3 hours and 20 minutes of Ray Lovelock talking, I'm just going to spend a night, evening, just soaking that in. Or there's always the classic Howl of the Devil, which has a cover I couldn't show you, but one of the neat things about it is people keep thinking it's a werewolf film. It's not a werewolf film. Like you can, the character of Vladimir Danievsky is like sort of in the film, but not really. So it's more of a thriller, a giallo, that style film. So much stuff to be that you can do. We're waiting for our stuff to come, and it's a Severin sale, so we're going to be waiting a while. That's kind of like get ready for that. Now, in just a couple days, Vinegar Syndrome are going to announce their July package. Just becoming a subscriber in the halfway sale means that this is going to be my first package that I'm going to get from Vinegar Syndrome. From July to November, I'm getting all those come. I'm very excited to see what my first one is going to be. So you know what that means? They drop hints all the time, and when they're doing stuff like that, this is my Friday the 13th NECA from the NES game. When they're dropping hints like that, stuff like Silent Madness, there's one thing that you can do. One thing that can help it a lot. Pick up this book, Net Me USA by Stephen Thrower. Anytime you're kind of wondering, I wonder what they could put out next. What could Vinegar Syndrome or Severin? What could either one of those companies put out next? What kind of cheesy, strange, unusual horror film, exploitation film can they put out next? Well, The Untold Story of the Exploitation Independence by Stephen Thrower, it goes through a lot of it. Like, you open it up and you'll see films by Frederick Friedel, James Bryan. Just really cool stuff from Don't Answer the Phone to Blood Feast, which is apparently Stephen King's least favorite horror film. You can't blame him on that. It's not exactly quality. So, there's a lot of people complaining right now that Stephen King didn't like Blood Feast. Well, I've got the Hershey Girl Noah set, and I'll say, not his greatest work. You can read a comic. You can read an omnibus, like the Planetary Omnibus, which is just bloody great. Anyway, that's not why you come to my channel. You come for the exploitation. You know you do. But you catch up with some movies that you got from the sale. Hopefully, you've been checking out these Scanners Cops films from Vinegar Syndrome. They're really, really good. And if you didn't order them during the sale, I recommend getting on that when the site comes back up, because these are really good. These are extraordinarily good. Some people even gone back and grabbed the earlier ones. Or maybe you're part of my my Patreon group and you're going to be looking into the Giallo stuff. So, Strange Advice of Mrs. Orr, that's coming up as one of the Call of Giallo videos that I'm going to be doing. Anyway, just a little stop in for a second to say, you know what? That little lull time after the sale, it can be a bit different. It can be a bit quiet. Things have been crazy and nice and exciting. Now, I know there's other stuff coming out. There's the Criterion thing coming out. There's the Arrow stuff. But, you know, when Criterion or Arrow usually announce a sale, it's just usually a sale. It's you know, there's no big new titles that are going to be like announced during that time period. You're not excitedly waiting for the reveals of titles. So that's probably next going to happen. Well, aside from the bundles and all that, for the next sale title reveals, it's probably not going to happen until around October, when when Vinegar Syndrome starts to announce the Black Friday November titles. One of them is Flesh for Frankenstein in 3D with a 4K disc. Shh, it's a secret. But there's 4 others, and one of them is a 4K horror. What could it be? Well, there's that Nightmare USA book again to look into. Or if you're a really big fan, you're just diving into those to the Franco stuff. Stephen Thor did 2 magnificent tomes on Franco, and I cannot recommend them enough. So for me right now, it's late. I'm probably going to go to sleep. I gotta work in the morning. Get up early, put on the coffee, and get bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, which I probably won't until later in the day. Also, when you're waiting for stuff to come, check out some of the other companies that may not get as much notice. There's companies like Umbrella Entertainment who do such amazingly fantastic stuff. Their Beyond Genres line and their Sunburnt line are incredible, but their Drive-In Delirium, holy crap, man, that's freaking fantastic. Now I know you'll soon be like watching those, because you listened, right? You got those documentaries. You picked up the 2 Video Nasty documentaries, right? You did? Good idea. Smart move. A lot of watching of that for you. But here's the thing. Here's the kicker with documentaries like that. With any of the film documentaries, you're going to find a lot of stuff that you don't have, or that maybe you just didn't realize was something. Either you didn't realize it was something that you wanted before, or you just didn't realize it existed. It was something that was available in this plane of existence. And those documentaries, they're gonna give you a new list of films. So what does that mean? Well, as you watch the documentaries, as you peruse the trailer tapes and the video nasties, as you watch the Beast in Heat with the Nazi exploitation documentary, because if you're thinking about getting the 88 films, Gestapo's Last Orgy, I really do recommend you check out that Beast in Heat Nazi exploitation Fastest Man on a Thread documentary. I watched it for the second time tonight, and it is utterly fascinating. And especially if you're going to dive into that genre, get ready. Prepare some lists. Find some companies that are out there that are putting out stuff that you're interested in getting, and find out when their next sales are. Maybe it's Vinegar Syndrome, maybe it's Severin. Maybe they're the ones putting it out. Maybe it's 88 films. Either way, now's the time. You got a few months. Get your list together. We'll be around. We'll be here. We'll be hanging out. document movies, doing all that type of stuff. Anyway, I'll see you here right again soon in the College Cinema. But right now, even though I want to go to sleep, I've got my hood up. It may be time to spin another disc, watch one more film, just one more, because there's always one more in College Cinema.